Hello, hello. Okay, so agenda for today would be talking about we're going to talk about Seia, Asuna, Neru, and Rio, like that. But let me, prepare something first so that we can have like a smooth talk once we do the actual recording. So yeah. So for the meantime, let's just chill and yeah, please, I guess. Please, for Rio, we can go with absolutely no one. It's like very unique. Maybe Guantanamo. Eh, Mari, Neru, we can compare it. Indeed. Well, yes. Okay, I think I am ready. I just need to think what am I supposed to. Okay, let's do it. Right, so I will record myself now. Maybe I should remove the chat for a bit, so it's not on my overlay for a while. Hold on, Sophia. Okay, so here's the problem. I want to use my fan. It's too loud, and my microphone can easily pick it up. That's like what you're hearing right now. It's not that good. No. Alright, let me do a quick mic check. Right, here we go. Just kidding. I am not muted. So, anyways, welcome to the Shannon Chest, and we're going to talk about the upcoming characters in Blue Archive Global. So we have first we're going to have a two-part series for this because there's like 4 of them. So we're going to split it up into 2. One for the non-anniversaries with Seia and Asuna, and the anniversary ones, which is Neru Uniform and Rio. So we're going to cover Seia and Asuna in this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk about them. So let me just enlarge this so that people can see this. So first off, we're going to talk about Seia, and first off, we going to check her stats over here. She's a support, and she's a piercing. Her attack type is piercing, and she has an elastic armor type, essentially making her pretty much universal in all raids. Although, yeah, it's because she's neutral on everything else, and she takes less damage from explosive attacks, which is good. Although, you know, neutral damage on like high difficulty stuff or high difficulty raids is still a threat, so you have to be mindful of that fact. So she has good mood on indoors, bad mood on field, and neutral on urban. And these are her stats. It's not really significant over here, I think. Oh yeah, this is her EW50 level 90 bond 20 stats without any talent level. Nothing significant here. We don't really check this one out because her main thing is her main thing lies on her skills. So let's discuss her skills. So her EX skill costs 3, and this reduces the EX skill cost of one ally except herself for the next 2 EX skill uses by 50%. And the amount it reduced is rounded down. So for example, if the target's EX skill cost is 5, it will this EX skill will reduce the cost by half, but you have to round it down. So for example, let's just say 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. It becomes 3. Is it? Or am I dumb? It's rounded down. Is this the right term? The amount is reduced is rounded down. $2.5, right? I'm not being dumb, right? Hang on. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. When you half it, it becomes 3. So yes, I don't know if my understanding here of rounded down is you round it down to the for example 2.5, you round it out to 2. That's not the case. For example, again, if the cost is 5 of the if the target's EX skill cost is 5, the reduced number, oh no, the I'll take a break for a bit. It's really it's raining. Anyways, let's just continue. Oh god, I cannot find that. Now I'm a bit pissed off. So. Just throw away anything after the decimal doesn't care low. Yeah. Are there any students going to be added in the shop on an NA? I think you guys will have some. Not this one. I believe you guys will have this too. Well, up. I don't know when, but you'll definitely have the New Year Junko, this too, and eventually Ako and Makoto. Oh yeah, it's riding Shiroko as well. Right there, riding Shiroko. I'm not sure when they added Kaede. I don't want to think about it. What are the most important characters to save up for? Maybe we can discuss that later. So, let me just talk about Seia first. So, going back to the discussion, for example, the target's EX skill cost is 5. This EX skill, Seiya's EX skill would reduce the cost from 5 to 3. And then for another example, if the cost is 6, since this from based from the description is 50%, so mine divided by 2, so that's 6 divided by 2, that's 3 cost. So it's more beneficial um if the target's EX skill cost is even, because it you would because when it's odd, it's not what you think. It's not 2.5 cost. It's rather, but it's 3, right? It's 3. And then in addition to this, she increases her own. She increases the cost recovery by 718 for 15 seconds. And if you guys are aware, every student contributes 700 cost. Yeah, every student contribute 700 cost for their squad, and basically, this cost recovery is just summoning so he's just summoning a ghost student for 15 seconds, which is huge, which is really really huge. And then, if you guys are aware, what reminds you of this skill, and you check, it's actually the same as Ui. But in addition, for Ui, she increased the attack by 16.1% for 46 seconds. Not that much, but it's there, and it's long, right? For Seia, it's cost recovery, which is in the higher difficulty content, and based from, like, you have a if you have a dedicated source for attack up, which is, for example, maybe Hare, or maybe maybe Himari. This will not stack with one another. Oh no, this skill or this attack will not override one with the other skills, but rather Seiya has a cost recovery, which is always a welcome buff. Okay, so basically just because of this, Seiya is basically a better OE. Just from the EX skill description, it reduces the target's EX skill cost by half, and then increases the cost recovery, which is a burst one, so it's not doesn't last for long. But the fact that she does this is basically makes her much better than Oi, I would say. Now, for the basic skills, every 35 seconds she increases the piercing effectiveness of herself and one other ally by 49.8% for 25 seconds. Note that since there are no specific targets here, it's just one other ally. It just by default that she will buff the ally next to her, or the nearest ally to her, right? The nearest ally from her position. So you probably want to have Seiya positioned near your DPS, so that they will take the most out of this buff. And it lasts for like quite some time, 25 seconds with a 10-second cooldown or 10-second window between each activation, which is not that bad. And then for the enhanced skill, she increases the healing by 26.6%. That's the base one. Increases healing by 26.6%. And for the EW40 stat, or for the EW40 buff, she increases the buff retention. This is her own buff retention by 1,900 flat. So this is basically 19% more duration, if I'm not mistaken. Probably I already verified this a lot of times, but I have to make sure that I'm not saying something erroneous and not spreading misinformation. So, let's talk about the buff the retention, by the way. So buff retention buffs or increases the duration of the buffs that she grants to herself and to others. So this counts the cost recovery. This counts. This will be affected by the buff retention, and also the piercing effectiveness that comes from her basic skill. So we're going to calculate real quick What is the duration of the cost recovery and the piercing effectiveness after we get her to EW40? So that's 15 seconds. So hear me out here. So that's 15 plus we're going to get the result of 15 times point 0.1 0.19. So basically additional 19% of 15. So calculating it will be 17.85 seconds. 17.85 seconds. That's 2.85 seconds more. Is it significant? I would say so. Because 2.85 seconds more of cost recovery might make a lot of difference. Imagine that. And then for the piercing effectiveness, of course, the longer it lasts, the better, right? The better, because it as long as it's there, it's going to be beneficial to the one who received it, provided that they are dealing piercing damage. So 25 seconds, just like the original calculations, we're just going to add the 19% of 25 and then add it to 25. So 25 plus the result of 25 times 0.19, and that's going to be 29.75 seconds. And if you ask me, just find the difference, it's 4.75 more piercing effectiveness for your DPS, which is significant. 4.75. It might be real fast for you, especially if you're playing like on ×3 speed. But for like, if you're going to min max everything, if you're going to make most out of this buff, this is really useful. 4.75 seconds of additional time compared to like just 25 seconds. So that means if we're going to take the difference for the window for the every 35 seconds over here, we only have like a window of 5.25 seconds. Before it was 10 seconds. I mean, look at this. 35 minus 25, that's 10 seconds. Now it's just 5.25 seconds, which is tremendously huge. You're just going to wait for 5.25 seconds in order to get another one of these and deal more damage. And then subskill, this is more of a nice icing on top, right? It doesn't really like, you know, matter too much, but it's there. It's there, and it's really helpful with it when you need it. So anyways, for every third activation of the EX skill, she grants the barrier with HP equal to 195% of her healing to herself and the target of the EX skill for 25 seconds. 25 seconds of barrier that scales with her healing, which is supported by her enhanced skill. That's why this enhanced skill buff is not a waste at all, because it is being used by the sub skill. Again, it's there. The barrier is there. It helps with like a scenario wherein your students are barely healing each other, or on a scenario wherein healing received is tremendously reduced, just like in Gauss, just like in Hieronymus. So yeah, very solid unit. Seia is a very solid unit, and do you really need her? I would say as a support unit, I think you might want to get one of her. Just one copy of her, and then worry about her getting to EW40 later at some point. Why? Because you just have to wait for like how many months to get for her shards to be available in the Submastery Certificate shop. Probably maybe in a year. I don't care. At least you have her, right? I think it is. She's like one of those units that you would want to prioritize, or you would want to think about getting her rather than of raising her to EW40, because at 3 stars she's already really useful. Although there are some scenarios wherein Hieronymus, let's just say Hieronymus Torment or maybe Insane, wherein Seiya is a pseudo tank because you're not going to bring any tanks to take any damage, and you just going to let Seiya take all of the hits. You probably want her to be at EW 40. But on other scenarios wherein Seiya doesn't have to be a tank, I think 3 stars is more than enough. And if you want to get her to EW 40, by all means go ahead. Just for the sake of min maxing. So yeah, that's what I think about Seiya. Really solid character as a support. You would want to get her. Is she mandatory to have? Mandatory to have is a strong statement, right? I mean, you could live with Puka New Year or original Ue, but I think Seiya offers a lot of things: cost recovery, a bonus shield, piercing effectiveness, and reducing and a cost down. It's just it's just all in one package. And when you think about it, this basic skill is just basically where is she? Oi swimsuit's EX skill, or basic skill rather, but without the clues requirement. And without but for Oi, she applies it to everyone other rather than on Seiya, which is just the nearest one on next to her. Right? So yeah, I would say that Seiya has great value, I would say. And if anything, I would really recommend you to get her, because you will not regret it. You will not regret it. And yeah, that will be it for Seiya. And now we're going to proceed right away with Asuna. So let me just close all of these tabs. So Asuna uniform, here are her stats. She's a explosive attacker. She's an explosive attacker with a heavy armor. That means it takes less damage, or much less damage on Gebura, wherein Gebura has Mystic attack type. Right. Now, oops. Okay. And now we don't really care about the mood here, the stats here. Just in case if you want to see it, here we go. And this is her stats at EW 50 with bond 20 on every single one of her versions. So, and without talent level, and at tier 10. So many things to consider. Now, we don't really want to take so much time with the attributes. Let's just go straight to the stats. So her EX skill is this one, and she increases the attack of herself and all of the special students by 63.5%, but by 63.5% for 19 seconds. And if you ask me, is there any alternative for Asuna right now? The answer is nope. There's none. Because she is the only one right now who could do this for 19 seconds. That is something to consider. So her basic skill, her EX skill is really straightforward. It's just, attack increase, nothing more, nothing less. So, so her basic skill for every 40 seconds she increases, or she restores the HP of her allies except herself on a within the circular area around her for 98.2% of her healing. So she heals everyone within range for this amount of healing. That's it. Although it doesn't really affect her, but when you think about it, on Gebura, as long as you're fulfilling the requirements of the radiator, I think you won't have any problems with the healing. I think the healing here is really helpful. I think the healing here is really helpful on like other raids such as Gregorius, um, and yeah, Gregorius. That's all I can think of. Maybe on Gebura if you are on the bench and the radiator doesn't have like the time to save you. But this is all. This is 40 seconds. This activates every 40 seconds, so it doesn't really. It's not as reliable as you thought. It has a long window, so it might help when you need it, but you don't really want to rely on this. But it's there. But it's there. The blue archive category is back. Yeah, it's been back for like how many weeks? A few weeks ago. Yeah. Anyways, your enhanced skill is almost the same as Seia. If you ask me. So healing increased by 26.6%. That's before EW40. And then after EW40, she increases the buff retention by 1900. So that's 19% more duration. Okay. So what benefits or which buffs from Asuna benefits from the buff retention is now other than the attack buff. So that's 19 seconds. So we're just going to have or get the 19% of 19, then add it to 19. I don't know if that you can follow that. So 19 plus 19, or the result of 19 times 9.19, so that's 19%, and you get 22.61 seconds. Yep, 22.61 seconds. That's let me get the difference. That's 3.61 seconds more attack. And you need it? I don't really think so, but it's there. You know, if you're especially on a strategy where you're going to squeeze in every single EX skill that you can use, and hopefully this buff will not expire when you're actually. So yeah. And then for sub skill, she increases the attack of herself and also the special students by 30.6%. So she increases the attack of herself and special students by 30.6%. And unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you that this is unique. This is already been evident, or this sub skill is exactly the same as someone like Kana Swimsuit. There you go, Kana Swimsuit. And also, I forgot to mention here, or I forgot to add here, this also Asuna uniform subskill also shares the same thing, or should I say the subskill is also the same, or the subskill is also the same as someone like Saki Swimsuit. There you go. So yeah. So she's not definitely the first one on this category when it comes to like this kind of sub skill, but for the EX skill, she is the first of her own, and until now, no one has been doing the same thing as her. So yeah, what would be the application of Asuna uniform? Obviously for Gebura, for Insane, Torment, and Lunatic. I don't know if Extreme you would need Asuna. Insane, I think you can even use Asuna. There's like an Asuna. There's like a lot of strategies on Insane, even on Torment, really, that doesn't have Asuna. So you don't really need Asuna in order to clear Insane or Torment. But do you need Asuna to get high score on Insane and or Torment? Yeah, of course, definitely. I'm just saying that you can definitely clear Gebura and clear Gebura without Asuna on Insane and Torment. But if you want to sweat the shit out of this raid, you might need to get Asuna. And you probably have to borrow a Satsuki. So, you gotta weigh you gotta weigh in your considerations. So I closed Seiya's page, so I'm just going to borrow this one. So these two banners will appear simultaneously for 7 days, I believe, before the anniversary banner, which features Neru uniform and Rio. So if you're in the pinch and you can only afford to roll like 100 pulls, the 100 free pulls that the game will give you throughout the course of their event of their banner. So which one should we focus on? Which one should we prioritize? I must say that in terms of practicality, the practicality and the current uh, or the past events, like raids, grand assaults, and all of that stuff, total assaults, happened in Blue Archives JP so far, I would say that Seia has more practicality or has more use than Asuna. Let's just consider the following: Asuna, you can beat Hieronymus without Asuna, 100%, because Gregorius already exists, but before Asuna uniform was announced as a playable character. Seia is, you know, a very good partner for Neru uniform, which we will discuss on the next video. And she just offers a lot of stuff for so low for such a cheap cost and for such a low investment. I mean, it's just the same with Asuna uniform. I mean, 3 stars is already more than enough. You just have to use this every damn time if you're going to burst down Gebura. But you know, when it comes to like how many instances are you going to use Asuna and Seia, comparing both of them, Seia has more use, in my opinion. Seia has more value, I would say. But I would, if you just since they are both supports for me, I cannot help but think that I should get both of them. But you know, you have to consider the following: if you're going for Seia, go for it. She's really good. If you're going for Seia uniform, go for it. Of course, she's really good on Gregorius and Gebora. But you know, depending on the based from the future content on Blue Archive Global, or should I say past event for JP, you have to consider that sometimes, or we have to consider that, you know, Seia has more frequency of use than Asuna. That's what I think. Although at the end of the day, if you like Seia, if you like Asuna uniform as a character or Asuna as a character, then by all means get both of them, or get one of them, of course. So yeah, that's all what I can say about Asuna uniform and Seia uniform. Both solid supports. Asuna is more of a special student support more than anything, and then Seia is a direct support for Mika, for Neru uniform, and other piercing type students. So yeah, that's it for the Shidem chest for Seia and Asuna. So we can go ahead to the next video for Neru and Rio. Okay, bye-bye. Alright. Now we're going to talk about Neru and Rio. Seia has more value that just haven't released any other than Walkabout. Yeah, exactly. But they are kind of generous with Wakamo Hovercraft. I think the Torment was no, it was the regular Hovercraft, right? I think what was the event that we had yellow Shirokuro, right? No. Hmm. I forgot. Hmm. Apologies, I forgot. Anyways, let's just continue. Let's have yeah, Hovercraft because this is their biggest debut so far, and Hieronymus. So huh. Yeah, go by. Right, you guys ready? Hello, lads, and welcome to the Shit'em Chest. And this is the second part of a two-part video or two-part series for the upcoming anniversary banners. So we discussed Asuna and Seia from the on the last video, but and this time we're going to discuss Neru uniform and Rio. So these two are the anniversary students of the fourth anniversary. That's kind of redundant, but they are the anniversary students, so they're going to be in a banner on the respective banners with ×2 increased on the 3-star, or with the increased 3-star rate. Uh, how can I word this properly? With the increased 3-star rate up from 3% to 6%. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, you probably want to roll on this banner because you have like a good chance of getting new characters, even including Auto Uniform and Rio. And let's just check out their skills and what they do and what are their applications in high difficulty content or endgame content in Blue Archive. So we are going to start with Neru Uniform. So Neru is a piercing unit with elastic armor. That means she can be definitely used everywhere. Although there are some raids that you cannot just use her though. Just this is because she takes less damage from explosive attacks, and ×2 damage for sonic attacks, which is non-existent yet on the raids. We don't have any raid yet, or we don't have any total assault boss yet that has elastic attack type. So yeah, she has a SS rank on streets, or should I say this is urban, and this is basically the same as Kazusa. So she also has S on urban, and the rest is history. She also has A rank on field, so she's also usable on field, but she has lower damage on indoors, obviously. So this is her stats. Her 8,121 attack at EW 50 with with bond 20 on every single one of her versions, including the limited Bonnie Neru. This is without any talent level. So yeah, 60,871 HP, probably because of the bag, and a lot of defense actually. She is a tank and she is a tank and a DPS at the same time. Like, look at that defense. This is just because of the bag, by the way. It's just because of the bag. And the hat contributes crit damage, so you can see like the 245% crit damage right over there. So for her skills, this is going to be a little bit not so difficult to understand, right? So let's bear with me here, okay? So bear with me. So first, let me just summarize what are you going to do with her skills. With her EX skill in particular. So her EX skill basically tags someone, and then you deal more damage against someone that you tagged or you targeted. And then And oh god. And then her EX skill has a burst. Is a burst. Is a burst skill that deals damage to that enemy. So basically, it's something like that. So let's just get into specifics. I'm going to cut that part out. So anyways, her EX skill costs 1, and she grants dueling to both herself and the target enemy for 17 seconds. So this is a special status. And with this status, she increases the damage that she deals to that target. For example, you're up against a Hieronymus, and Neru activates her skill. This one cost skill to a Hieronymus. That means that Neru deals 20% more damage to Hieronymus alone. Okay, to whoever she tags with this skill or with this special status, which is dueling, she deals more damage to the target. Okay. Also, in addition to that, she redraws her EX skill. That means she won't. Once you use the 1 cost EX skill, the 4 cost EX skill right over there will appear in place. Will appear immediately, and you can immediately you can use this after her animation. And this lasts. This lasts for 70 seconds. 70 whole seconds. Okay? So, let me just recap everything. She grants dueling to herself to end the target enemy for 70 seconds. And the target that has dueling will take 20% more damage from Neru. Not from everyone else, but only from Neru. And then, after she uses her 1 cost EX skill, her card will be redrawn, so it will be on your deck immediately, and then you can use the EX skill that costs 4. So, let's talk about the cost for EX skill. She gains 1 stack of ambition, and she deals damage, particularly 1,469 damage to 1 enemy. Okay? And this ambition stacks will be reset after dueling is expired. So after 17 seconds, whatever's ambition is there will be gone. So, and you have to apply it all over again. Okay? So here's the game plan. Right? So here's the game plan. You tag the enemy with the dueling, and then you deal damage to the to that enemy, and you gain 1 stack of ambition that can stack up to 5 times as you do your EX skill. So we're going to check out what ambition is. So we can check it out on sub skill. So her sub skill is increases damage dealt by 24.2%. This one is kind of similar, right? This is because it has the same thing as Mika's sub skill. She has a damage dealt increase by 24.2%. So, you can see the pattern right there. And she increases the damage dealt by the EX skill, this one, the 4 cost EX skill, for 35% more. Mind you, 35% more for each stack of ambition. So, the more ambition that she gains, the more damage that she deals from her the more damage she deals against the enemy with the dueling effect when she uses her EX skill. So it's just damage after damage after damage, and it gets increasingly stronger. And this lasts for 70 seconds, mind you. 70 whole seconds. So surely there must be a way to spam that skill, right? Right? We have Seia, who could reduce the cost recovery of Neru. So that's 4. That's from 4 to 2. And we also have a special character who could spam this skill easily. Basically cheating. So we're going to discuss that person later on. Spoilers, it's Rio. So yeah, that's all of the mechanics of her kit basically. You grant the dueling to the enemy, and then you deal damage to them, and the damage gets increasingly more. The damage is increasingly become more as you do more EX skills. So yeah. Anyways, her basic skill is classic piercing effectiveness by 58.8% for 25 seconds. And that's for every 35 seconds. So that's like 10 seconds gap between each activation. So it's really good. So it's as long as you don't cancel the skill, trust me, I do that a lot of times. You should be able to utilize this most of the time, like 100% or 100% of the time. So her enhanced skill, let me just remove this first. Her enhanced skill increases her normal attack range by 100 and attack by 21.2%. So what is like the implication of the attack range? Basically, this is static by the way, so you cannot change this. Basically, she has more range. Yeah, but also, whenever there's like a battle start, right? Whenever a battle starts, Neru tends to stop earlier than usual. How can I explain this? Like she can detect, she can detect the enemy way earlier than what her archetype is. So SMG. So she has more detection range. And one thing about her, when I discovered on Hieronymus is that whenever she uses her EX skill, she tends to go backwards. Like she is flipping backwards. She does a backflip while she's barraging her gun to the enemy. And because of the range, she tends not to move forward and still be in range for some reason. And that's because of this buff. And that's why she doesn't really just like move forward immediately after she uses one EX skill. I think this is like a design consideration from the devs, like because of the animation of her EX skill. What happens if she's out of range? She would move forward every damn time, so there's like a somewhat of a loss of DPS, right? So in order to fix that, they added normal attack range so that when she uses her EX skill, she backflips, moves backwards a little bit, she would still be in range with the target. I think that's how they work with that. And additionally, she gets attacked by 21.2%. At EW40, she gets an additional attack flat by 577 rather. So increases attack by 577. So we already discussed her sub skill, and then now, what will be the implications, or what are the applications for Neru uniform? So naturally, he will definitely shine on raids that has urban, that has urban in it, like Pina, one thing. Shirokuro, well, that's also one thing. Mind this. Mind the urban affinity. Shirokuro, that's one. Hieronymus, which its Grand Assault was released or was recently passed in JP as recording of this video. Neru uniform decimated the shit out of Hieronymus. Decimated. Like, if you're lucky enough with her crits, she could finish the fight and get yourself above 40 million score. 40 million. Although I couldn't do it, I think the best that I managed to score was 39.8 million, which is still impressive. Also, we also have Kaiten on Urban, of course, Grand Assault, and then we also have Hod over here. And just for the record, we haven't encountered Hod for so long. We also had Wakamo Hovercraft. Neru uniform has A on outdoors, so she doesn't give a shit about outdoors, and she can deal not as much damage as on Urban, but decent enough to rack up some damage. Kurokage, not really. Gebura, not really. So yeah, um, I could definitely say with high confidence that over the past few endgame content, even endgame contents in Blue Archive (JP), that Neru became the queen of Urban in terms of piercing attack. He's the piercing queen of Urban right now. She is the best one so far. Beating someone like Kasusa, beating like someone as moldy as Yuzu, I think Hiyori is still there, but oh, this is field. Never mind. You can ignore about Hiyori. But yeah, I can say with full confidence that Neru is the queen of Urban right now. And it doesn't really mean that, because of my statement, it doesn't really mean that Mika is completely garbage. Like, no, Mika is still strong. She's still strong, and right now she's like, still one of the best piercing units in indoors. Although I think there are some contenders now. There are some scenarios wherein that character is stronger than Mika. Wait, hang on. Is there anyone that confirms it? Hang on. Yeah, Kayoko Dress, I think, but she's street. So never mind. But yeah, Mika will definitely underperform on Urban, obviously because of her mood. So Neru really fits her place. So that's basically like the scenario of or what's happening right now in the meta. So Neru is the queen of Urban, while Mika is the queen of indoors in terms of piercing attack type. So yeah, Neru very strong. I'm going to show like a couple of clips from post production. So Tomo, please, there you go. There and there and yeah, that one. Showcasing Neru uniform's enormous fucking damage. So yeah, of course, Neru uniform has some weaknesses. Of course, one thing about her is that you probably want to watch out for her animations on her basic skill, but this is kind of negligible. But if you can, masterfully time her or know when she's going to activate her skill, this should be no problem. And also, she doesn't crit. Wow, what a surprise! An adversary unit that is a DPS that doesn't crit. Of course, she's not Mika, but because of her really high damage, that is increasingly getting better over time because of the ambition stacks. I'm going to show you this clip on post production. There you go. That Neru can, I think it was on Torment, can kill Wakamo before she as she runs away or before she runs away. That's on Torment. And Mika couldn't do that before. Mika cannot do that. It's just Neru could do that for the first time ever. So that's really telling us something. Okay, so yeah, Neru uniform, very powerful unit. She's basically the queen of piercing urban, queen of urban in terms of piercing attack type, and yeah, very strong unit. Although there are, I think, I'm just going to add this, right? I'm going to add this fact that during the first few events or first few endgame content that Nexon released, Neru was nowhere to be found because they didn't give her like any opportunity to beat some ass because they are so fixated on Gebura. They are so fixated. What was it? They also had Gregorius at some point, Kurokage at some point. I think the only thing that made Neru shine was already Hovercraft, which was like a few months ago, a few months after Neru was released. So you probably want to consider like when you're going to raise your Neru. So maybe if you have like limited resources. Hang on. If you have limited resources and you can only pick like either one of them, who to raise, like maybe Seia, maybe Asuna, or maybe Rio, I think you could set Neru uniforms aside for now, and then raise her up when you got the materials. That's what I can advise to you because. For the first few months, I think months, I'm not sure if it's weeks, but months, Neru uniform didn't have like much content that is pretty much suited for her. I think the biggest break or her debut was Wakamo Hovercraft. Neru also shine in Hyro. I think when was the last Hieronymus? I also added that part. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. But yeah, is it because of the Terran advantage that Neru U is stronger than Mika? No, I think Neru uniform is the queen of Urban, but I still think that Mika still has it on indoor. It's just that Mika doesn't have much damage. She only has like she has 20% damage reduction on Urban. Mind you, this is Urban. She has D mood on Urban, and then Neru uniform is has SS on Urban. So just based from that, we can already tell that Neru has deals more damage than Mika on Urban. That's the big asterisk right there on Urban. He also destroys Chokma. Oh yeah, I forgot about Final Restriction release. Yeah. Thank you. Chokma boss. Oh shit. Chokma balls. There you go. And I forgot to mention that Neru is definitely also one of the best units in Chokma. I think Mika can also compete there, but right now I think people prefer using Neru over Mika. So yeah. Alright, so let me just answer your questions. I think Neru damage runs up over time, while Mika's damage drops at boss HP. If your ES skill, the current percent HP. Yeah, that's true. Neru, the thing with Neru's skill or Neru's kit is that the more ambition stacks that you have, the more damage that you deal because of your sub skill. Increasing your damage. By the way, this damage dealt not attack. He doesn't increase attack here. He deals more damage, 35% more damage, and this stacks for up to 5 times. So that's 35 times. Why am I using the start menu? Compute. I have the calculator over here. So that's 175. No. At max stacks, she deals 175 or 1.75 times more damage. 1.75 more damage. It's just, I don't know. It kind of sucks that they didn't go for like 200% more damage. I think that will be beyond broken now. Don't you guys think? But yeah, I guess for balancing purposes, they capped it at 175. But I think that that's still super high. That's still so fucking high. So yeah, I would recommend you to get Neru because she's really strong. Although, because of the circumstances of the release of certain endgame content, particularly Grand Assaults and Total Assaults in Blue Archive, I recommend you to not to raise Neru yet if you don't have enough resources to do so. Trust me, I did it. I regret it. I could have done it like sooner, but I did it right after I got her. So yeah, if you want to, save up resources and use it on someone else, like the idols for Gebura, Asuna for Gebura, you might want to focus on them first rather on Neru Uniform, because Neru Uniform will have your debut months later. I'm not sure if it's months, but I think it's just months. I'm not sure if it's more than 1 month though. But yeah, it took her like a very long time, or she waited for like a very long time to even have fun. So yeah. All right, let's discuss what I would think the most broken student right now on Blue Archive. Then no, it's not Kisaki, it's Rio. So I would say, in summary, that Rio is cheating. See, she is breaking the laws of physics. She's breaking the laws of the game. Like, if you use a skill, you have to rotate every single one of the skills in order to get back to that skill that you want. But for Neru, but for Rio, nah. Might as well increase the attack by 51.4% and might reduce the cost by 1. Okay, bro. Okay. So, let's discuss about Rio. Alright, this is going to be a little bit complicated. So, that's a wall of text here. But I'm going to help you every step of the way. So, as you use her EX skill on a striker, take note, her EX skill doesn't work on any special students. This only works on strikers. Okay? This doesn't work on summons. This doesn't work on basically like from non-strikers. Okay? Only works for strikers and nothing else. So, when you use her EX skill on a striker, you immediately withdraw her EX skill, and then you copy the EX skill of that target ally, and then you can use it. And also, the target gets 51.4% more attack for 20 seconds. Okay? And also, the cost of that card is reduced by 1. So let me just give you a paint version of what Rio skill does. Hang on, let me set up a paint for you guys. Because I love painting. Actually, I don't know how to paint. So, hopefully I can get this right. For example, Let's just say Hina dress. Hina, Hina, Hina. There you go. And her cost is 6. Okay? Her cost is 6. So, let's just say we have a Puka. A New Year Puka that reduce the EX skill of Hina by half. So now we're going to get 3. Okay? That's 3. Now, wait, I think Dihina is a bad example. So let's take it from the beginning. Maybe Neru? Okay, so let's just take Neru now, for example. Uniform Neru, and she has 4 cost from her damaging EX skill. Okay? Damaging EX skill. And then we have someone like, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, Seia. And Seia reduces the EX skill cost by half, so it becomes 2. Okay? Okay, you follow me here? Now, hang on. Am I doing this right? Wait, so hang on. Baseball power for the same place cost. Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. So, hear me out here. So, if we put Rio into the equation, let's just say, if we put Rio in the equation, what will be the cost? What will be the final cost of Neru? The answer is still 2. But hear me out. So, what happens here with Rio is that she reduces the EX skill cost of the base cost of Neru. She doesn't influence this one, but rather this one first. Okay? So what happens here is that instead of okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. Solid fill. There you go. So, what happens is that because of Rio, the base cost of Neru becomes 4 to 3. Okay? And based from the description here, whoops. Where is my not that one. Okay, so base from here is that they said that the base cost of the copied card will be the same as the base cost of the original card minus 1 to the minimum of 0. And then the cost increase or decreased effects will be calculated using the base cost of the copied card. So, let's go back here. And now, based from the description, they're telling us that Rio reduces the base cost over here, which is 4 for Neru, to 3. This is from Rio. Now, according to the rules from Rio, apparently, after the reduction of the base cost, that's where the cost increase or decrease will come in. Since Seia reduces the EX skill cost by half, it becomes 3 divided by 2. It becomes 1.5, and then you round this up. That's why Neru with Seia and Rio will still cost 2. Okay? Will still cost 2. This will be really evident if the base cost of the unit is odd. So let's just go back and take someone like an example who's like a 7 cost unit. I think Yukari is a 7 cost unit. Yeah, 7. Okay, let's use Yukari. Let's know. So let's try Yukari. I cannot write really well. And Yukari has 7 cost. And let's just say we have Fuka, for example, because it's just basically the same. And then we have Ryo as our newcomer. So Ryo, when you apply the EX skill on Yukari, 7 cost will become 6 cost. So Ryo, based on the description, it reduces the skill, but the base skill of the copied card, by the way, by 1. So Hina, wait, is Hina 6 cost or 7? Oh, it's 7. Okay, basically the same. You know what? Fine. No, I'm kidding. It's basically the same. So she reduces the base cost of Yukari by -1. So -1, that's 6 cost. And now we apply the cost reduction of Fuka, which is 1/2, right over here. Multiplied, divided by 2, it becomes 3 cost. Okay, but Tomo, what's the difference? Normally, without Ryo in the picture, the normal scenario would be 7 cost and divided by 2. That's 3.5 cost, and then it will be rounded down to 4 cost. So with Ryo, we're actually saving more. So you can see like the potential of her skill, really. Let's just see. Let's go back to Ryo. So again, I'm going to recap all of this so that you can understand. So when Ryo uses her EX skill on someone, on a striker, she redraws her skill and copies the card or the EX skill of the ally that you selected. Okay, she copies the card, the EX skill card. In addition, besides getting a attack increase, which is 51.4%, but for 20 seconds, the copy card inherits the status of the target's ally's EX skill card. That means, whenever there's a additional or increase or decrease in EX skill, it will be on the inherited on your copied card. In addition, and plus, the base cost of the copied card will be the same, -1. And then after applying that -1, that's where you put the cost increase or decrease into consideration, into the calculations. So essentially, she basically duplicates someone's card, enabling you to use their skill 2 times in a row, potentially 3 times in a row. That's how powerful this is. In addition, the base cost is also been reduced for the copied card, of course. So that's if you see my clear on the recent Hieronymus raid with Neru, With Rio, Neru can actually fire up to 3 EX skills in the same rotation. If that's not crazy to you, I don't know what is. Before, it used to be like you have to circle through everything just to get the your DPS card again in order for you to use so that you can, make use of the buffs that they get. Now you can potentially deal three EX skills, not necessarily in a row, but in quick succession to the point that you could fit in 3 EX skills in just one rotation. And imagine like the damage implications of it. Imagine, like, instead of 2 EX skill uses, you have 3 EX skill uses. So yeah, it's really good. It's really fucking good. I think the only weakness of this skill for Rio's skill, or Rio's EX skill, is that this skill animation takes 6.7 seconds. 6.7 seconds. And it's fucking long, I would say. You probably want to use her skill immediately once it's available if you want to not wait for her skill to finish, because the animation takes so much time. It would take 3 business days to complete. 3 business days. I'm kidding, but 6.7 seconds is kind of long. So yeah, you have to be mindful of that. But other than that, the benefits just outweighs the demerit or the limitations of it. Okay, basic skill. Every 30 seconds, she decreases the enemy's defense by 25.5% for 19 seconds and deals damage. Nothing much. I think the 25.5% defense break is really useful on many occasions, especially on enemies with high defense. Just like the one and only Hieronymus. There you go. Highly applicable to Hieronymus, considering that this guy has a lot of defense and also has a lot. Oh, where is it? This one? This one, yeah. Increase is incoming damage. So yeah. Deals damage, nothing too special about that. And then her enhanced skill, I'm just going to untick this. She increases the attack by 26.6%, and then at EW40 she gets buff retention by 1900. So this only applies to her attack percentage. Percentage buff from her EX skill. So that's 20 seconds times, we're going to calculate this again, 20 plus the result of 20, oops, cannot type anymore, times 0.19, that's 19%, that's 23.8 seconds. So she gets 3.8 seconds more duration if you have her buff retention. Okay, does it matter? I think so. I mean, as long as it's you have the, like, as long as it's there, it's really useful, I guess. As long as the recipient of the buff gets or is still attacking, maybe it highly benefits. But yeah, 3 seconds, you have to consider that. Okay, her sub skill is a classic sorry. Her sub skill is a classic attack up for all allies by 17.3 seconds. That's 73 by 17.3%. Okay? So yeah, Rio is very useful, very cheap EX skill that benefits your DPS by a large margin. Also, she doesn't benefit not just DPSs but also supports as well. For example, if you want Mari to heal up Hieronymus totem in a quick succession, you can do that with Rio. If you want let's just say a support skill that maybe a Hare skill that you can apply to two different strikers. Maybe you can use that. I don't know. Like the implications is just, or the applications for her EX skill is just, you know, way too wide. It's just way too many. It's just way too many. It's just really useful. And because of that, that's why I'm saying that she's basically cheating. She is cheating. She's a cheat character in isekai. So yeah. Ideally we would like to do 3 EX skills when 1 EX Kisaki is buff with Rio. Yeah, that's correct. That's why the damage output for like ever since Kisaki and Rio were released was like exponentially more has been, you know, exponentially become more and more. And also I would like to comment on the sub skill. With the sub skill, attack increase, you can actually mix her with cost recovery units. That's like what I think is the best thing about Rio, or about her sub skill, is that she doesn't conflict with she doesn't conflict with cost recovery units like Himari, like Haruka New Year, like Nia, and so on and so forth. And also, her attack increase is basically just universal. It's not crit rate, it's not crit damage, but it's attack, which benefits everyone. If it's crit rate, there might be some units that won't benefit from crit rate, like Mika, or maybe like Chiaki. And also, there are some units that don't benefit much on crit damage. For example, Chiaki, because she doesn't crit on her EX skill. So with attack increase as her sub skill, she basically makes her a universal support. Okay, is Ryu good at 3 stars, or should she needs to be EW 50? Good question though, because I immediately gave her EW 50 right off the bat when I got her. So I couldn't tell if it's ideal to get her at 3 stars. Yes, I would suggest to get her at 3 stars and then worry about her investment later on. But you basically raise someone's rarity on a support just for the stat stick. Like, where is it here? I think we have a... Is this the one? Yeah, striker bonus. There you go. You're basically raising someone, a support, especially support, to EW 50 just for the sake of the striker bonus, or should I say the stat shares. That's basically about it. But if you're going to min max, you probably want to get to have this as high as possible, as high as humanly possible. But in my opinion, though, I think it would be much better if you get her first and then worry about her investments later on. But when it comes to investments, I would recommend you to get her at least EW 30, because I think there will be some problems in terms of survivability and damage if her stat shares are way too low. Isn't her stat really high as well as Kisaki? She's a handgun unit. She doesn't have like any much attack. That's why I've been saying that, you know. Also with Kisaki... Oh, doesn't work anymore. Kisaki. Okay, let's just have like for the sake of argument, let's say have her at 3 stars. So let's just compare the striker bonus. This is a 365 attack, and then at EW 30, this is already 507. So I would say I would take the 507 any day if we're going to get her at least at EW 40. Oh, 30 rather. EW40, I think just makes it better just because of her. I think we can do this. There you go, 520. Wait, no. Oh, and it's not much. Okay, never mind. I spread misinformation again. 507, 520, and this one is 533. So yeah, I think EW30 is already a start. It's already a start. And also with the HP as well, 6,000, and then at EW40, 6,200. EW50, that's 6,300. So yeah, I think I would suggest really that you should get her at the very least at EW30, and then take it slowly by buying her shards for the mastery certificate shop. Because when it comes to like supports, really, when you raise someone's rarity, when you raise a support's rarity, you're just going for the striker bonus, really. The buff retention is meh. It's just 3 more seconds of attack from previously 20 seconds. So if you can manage to squeeze in 3 EX skills with Rio under 20 seconds, I think you don't really need the buff retention. So yeah, EW30 is more than enough. And then for Kisaki, I think this is the same as well. Oh, sorry. I mean, look at this. 459, 5,442. And then at EW30, it becomes 6,400 and 638, which is a high of a difference already. Does under buff retention increase your def down? If that's the case, this should be debuff retention. If you check the description here, this increases the buffs only. This is a debuff. If you're looking for a someone who could do that, we can have Khan as an example. Although the search function of this website is not functioning right now. Okay, just like this. There you go. Debuff retention. This is what they used to extend the debuff that they inflict on enemies, not to themselves. Fortunately. Okay, so let's just say that you don't have enough pyroxenes for Neru and Rio, and after 200 pulls, you only manage to get one of them. I'm not saying that it's from a spark or somewhere along the way, and you got only one of them. You have to choose like one of them. So should I prioritize Neru or Rio? This is a hard question, guys. I would say I would prioritize Rio because she should support. Because of her overall use in the in high end game content. Neru is someone that you can borrow. I mean, there's a bunch of Nerus out there in the wild that could help you out. Maybe your friends, maybe your club mates, maybe someone, maybe a stranger that comes that just happened to show up on your assistant tab, But I would say that in terms of practicality or value, I would say that Rio is more valuable than Neru. Only because of what she can do to everyone that she touches. Basically of what she can do to everyone. Neru is a DPS that requires high investment. Although the investment is kind of worth it. No, it's worth it. It's worth the trouble. But in all honesty, if we're going to choose just one of them, I would just go for 100% on Rio. And then borrow Neru from your friends, or probably get her on the next anniversary. So yeah, that's what I think about Rio and Neru. Neru is a very strong urban unit. I would say that she is one of the best DPS units in the game in terms of piercing urban. And then Rio is just a cheat code that you should get. A cheat code. And she works for a lot of units. She works a lot. She synergizes with a lot of units. She kind of synergizes with Imari because Rio doesn't have a cost recovery skill. Kind of ironic, but that's true. So yeah, that's what I think about Rio and Neru, and this concludes the Shidem chest or the two-part Shidem chest for the 4th anniversary. All right, so that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, there you go. Maybe I'll edit them over the weekend. Yeah, any questions? Maybe we can add them to the video if you guys if you guys have like good questions. Let me just okay. What did Sensei of Kiboto said? Sorry, man, I don't speak. I think I would assume that this is Indo. Sorry, man, I don't speak Indo. Oh, this is Malay. What? I don't get what you're saying. But yeah, I would suggest to speak in English so that I can understand. Just for for ease of communication. All right, I'm bringing back the chat on my overlay. There we go. Should always get both of them since they can have sweet synergy together. I agree with that. I 100% agree. Like Neru, Rio, Seia have very good synergy, especially what you saw on the recent Hieronymus Grand Assault with Yellow Torment. Neru beat the shit out of Hieronymus with the help of Neru, with the help of Rio and Seia. But of course, we have to also consider, there are some people that who just have to pick one, right? Who just have to pick one. But ideally, you would want to get both of them, and I hope you guys will do. Because getting both of them would be amazing. Would be really fucking amazing, especially under 200 pulls. Because if you just aim to spark and get both of them, you can just choose one of them to become a 4-star and spend the rest of the Eligma or Pyrox, spend of the rest of the Eligma to raise them to EW50. Much better if you get a dupe of Neru or Rio. Much better. It's just that Blue Archive doesn't have a rate up, quote unquote rate up. I don't know. I don't want this to turn into a gacha rant again. I ranted about the gacha rates like multiple times already. So doing another run would be kind of repetitive. So yeah, maybe I'll make a video about my wish list for Blue Archive's 5th anniversary. Maybe 4th anniversary won't have like big changes, but maybe on 5th, I'll have like a wish list of what could be changed in the game. So yeah, this week is a dead week for Blue Archive JP. Way to turn yellow into purple. What? What are talking about? Oh yeah, turn purple into yellow to purple. Oh yeah, just like in Arc Knights, like you can convert like the item of the same caliber or the same type into a higher tier. For example, like rocks, Ori rocks, or iron. You can convert or you can convert them into like the higher tiers of the rocks. Yeah, I think that would be great. But actually, no. Yeah, that would be great. And hopefully, it doesn't cost any keystones, please. Or should I call it like the purple keystones, yellow keystones, whatever? It shouldn't cost that like that much. Like, come on. I mean, like this one's not that one. These ones, yeah. Oh, yeah. If they're going to implement something like that, hopefully they won't require us to use these. Like, come on. How Rio interact with Hina EX? Let's say I copy the Hina's EX before EX transform, and Hina fire 3 shots and I'm just working with the copy. Okay. So, okay. Got you. Let's open the paint once again. That's why I avoided the topic of Hina because, or the Hina dress earlier, because it has like a different thing. So, so let's just say that Hina has 6 cost, and let's just say that Fuka has half cost, and then Rio has the -1 cost on base. Okay. Oh, Hina. I hope you can read my my failure of a handwriting, or should I say mouse writing. So what happens here is that it's just basically the same. If you reduce the EX skill here, the base cost will be 5. Then apply focus, that which is 1/2, you would get 3 cost to activate Hina's skill. Mind you, to activate Hina's skill, if you're going to go through all this trouble and use the copied card, the copy, you need to get this will cost 3 cost. But this is not what you how you're supposed to use Hina on with Rio. On what the way to use Hina on with Rio is that let's just say Hina dress. That's D 6 cost, then Fuka 1/2. Use this to to get access to the 3 shots. So that's 3 cost. And then you use Rio to buff Hina. And then what happens here is that the deck will be like this. So Hina 0, Rio, no, Hina with Rio 0, and this will be random or any X student. So what you're going to do here is that you would want to use this card first. Oh, this one 3 times, right? You would use this one 3 times, and then once this card is over, this will turn back into the initial state, which is cost, guess it, 5. So X, Hina, 5X. And then if you have budget, you could use it right away and do it 3 more times. Because if you use Rio's EX skill right over here, like for ×1, and here for ×2, this is 3 by the way, you guys don't know. If this is 2, this 2 will be gone. and wasted. That's not how you rotate Hina with Rio. What you want to do is that you use the original. You use the original, and then once it's over, you can use this one to activate it again. That's how it works. 000 HR. Oh no, this is still H. This is still H. H, and then you can use it 3 times. That's how it works. You might accidentally use the copied card on the 6 cost. You don't do that. Don't do that. You will want to use the copied card after your first 3 shots. Okay? After the first 3 shots. After the first 3 shots are gone, basically you use the entirety of Hina's EX skill. The Rio card, the Rio copied card becomes its former, or the copied Hina card becomes returns back to its original. It returns back to its original. It doesn't disappear really. It doesn't disappear, but rather it becomes a 6 cost or 6 minus 1 cost card. So the rotation would be. Let's just say Boka, then Hina. That's 3. Then do the Hina, or and maybe you can slip in Rio if you want, or Kisaki. And then after which you can do the first 3 shots. The Hina 0 times 3. And then you use the Hina card that is from Rio. So I'm going to put it like H of R, or R of H. And then you use Hina again. That's how it works. Or maybe you can, like, put it like Fuka over here to make this cost 3 again, if you want. Is EW30 EW30 needed for Dressina, since it will take a lot of time to shoot all 6 shots for Rio? EW40, huh? We can test it out if you guys want. This is my sorry. We can test this. Or maybe we can have it on a mission stage. This is an EW30 or 50 Rio. So we're going to have let's just have Fuka in a dress. Let's have, we don't need Hare anymore because this will override. No, Rio will has a attack up. Let's have, I don't know, maybe Oshino swimsuit for the cost recovery, you for the cost recovery. I don't want to bring Hina. I don't want to bring Mari though. Or maybe a dummy character, really. Okay, let's try. We can have this. Oh yeah, you would want Kisaki here. But yeah, just for the sake of it, just to make things faster. If you're going to use Kisaki, you probably want to not consider cost reduction anymore. Oh, I should have brought what do you call this? Oh yeah, I didn't set it. Running out. Okay, so here we go. So Hina gets the buff right there. It's right over there. 1. This one becomes her EX skill, but don't use this because you're going to waste it. Two. Then 3. Then, see over here, it becomes her original card. Now you do this again. 1. Oh, it's there, still there, right? Yeah, still there. 2. 3. One, 2. Can wait for this. 3. Does this again? Oh yeah, you basically don't have Nina anymore in this case, right? Oh, I won? Oh wait, I didn't complete it. Yeah, I already had to. Fuck. But yeah, that's wait. Maybe I should have a. Wait, give me a second, guys. I'm going to replace you with. Soon, I'm going to replace you with Robo. And then I'm going to do this. I think I did what I preached against earlier. I used Hina's I used Hina Rio skill, the copied card earlier, instead of using the original after you doing the second EX skill. So that I think that's what happened. So that's one. Let's help her out. 2. Then becomes Hina again. So again 1, 2, then 3. And use this. Maybe find some way to use the original card instead. So 1. Okay, go 1, 2, 3. Then, if you want, 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, ended. Yeah, that's how it is. I've done so many things, and Kuroko still deals more. I mean, it's blue armor type. But yeah, I didn't answer the question of do you need EW40 to make her rotate the most? Hang on. I will answer that question in a second. But first, I need more. I need more AP. Okay, there you go. I think Isagi. If we're going to if it's going to be like a restriction for you or restriction for Kisaki and Ryo, I genuinely think that let's just say, okay, I think you should do this on like a pixel perfect scenario wherein you have to fire Hina's EX skill like the instant it becomes available. Maybe I can show you how. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, the cost recover. Oh yeah. I don't know about the cost though. It's going to be really expensive. But we should be fine. Okay, let's find. Oh yeah, this one lasts for like so fucking long. Why did I? Maybe I should use Rio first. Okay, so Rio. Just like that, I think we have the buffs. There you go. We have the buffs now. So as long as it becomes available, you would want to click the icon over here, this one, and target it to the boss or to the target. Point it on the target in a very quick succession. But on BlueStacks or in a emulator, this can be easily be achieved by keybinds. But I swear to God, I don't know how you guys can do it on a mobile setting, a mobile phone setting. So, I'm going to set a keybind like over here, So maybe that's S. I bind it to S. And then my first card slot is that has been binded to Q. So I can do click, okay, click, then Q, then S. So here you go. Now, you have to wait for the exact moment by pause buffering. Now the skill has been available. So we're going to do it again, like so. This is to really make most of the buffs, I suppose. still have the buffs, mind you. This is the EX skill. This is from Kisaki. This is from Rio. Okay. Now it's been available. We gotta do it now. Now we got to wait for the third, this one, to become Hina and become usable. Still have the buffs. Here we go. Buffs are still there. Okay. Let's just say the boss is still alive and we're going to shoot it right away. Mind you, the buffs are still here. Ready? Let's wait. There you go. For Kisaki, I think you need EW40. For Rio, I think this in this case it's already gone. Like it's already it's about to expire. I actually don't know when it's the exact moment it starts to glow or fade like that. But yeah, I think at EW40 you can easily do this. I'm not so sure about 50. I'm not sure at EW30, just EW30. At least for Kisaki, unless if I time this wrong. But as far as I am concerned, I just did it just right. Just did it just right. Yeah, for the entirety of the skill, still available. So yeah, EW40 is kind of recommended if you're going to squeeze this. I think just twice because her EF skill takes too long, or it takes a set like a great duration before a great duration. Yeah, great duration. Now, we can rotate back, I guess. Just like so. Well, we won't- but maybe this time around we can squeeze it. Hmm, there you go. Yeah, the EX skill is still also depleting now. I think this is like how many? I'm not sure how many seconds does it take, or what is the time remaining for like the buffs to glow like that or to fade like that. But yeah, well, I'm going to do this again. Maybe this time without any sweaty moves like that. One, two, three, one. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. Oh, I think we did a lot more damage uh with Kiseki. I mean, of course, yeah. But yeah, that's like a small demo on Rio. I think the skill is still not linking. This is EW. This is beyond EW40, by the way. But for Kisaki, because of the duration, I think it's just 15 seconds, right? Yeah, it might be on a pinch. But for Rio, I think she's fine because it lasts for uh 20 seconds. Yeah, fine. For Isaki, it's kind of, I don't know. Maybe you should test it out for yourself if like without doing like the frame perfect strat. If you can squeeze in like two, oh yeah, you can do it because you're not there yet. Fuck. Uh, but yeah, that should give you like a rough idea. If you need the EW 40 buff or not. Okay, so what's next? It's already 12 o'clock and I yap a lot, so I'm going to probably rest. Yeah, I have nothing to do. I have absolutely nothing. I only streamed today just because I want to talk about Rio and Seia. That's all. So that maybe if I'm going to ever make this on a video, I'm going to edit this over the weekend, so I don't have to think about this anymore and do it now. I'm just going to exhaust all of this on here. Just wait for the times to normal. Oh wait, I think this will last for like 6 days, like the rest of the week before we get the anniversary. We get the summer units. So yeah, probably I won't be able to stream on Thursday and Friday because there's really nothing going on. But on Saturday, I'm going to plug this again. Of course I can because this is my channel. On Saturday, we're going to have a watch party for the special program for Lower Game JP. So I hope you guys will tune in. If you want to get notified, I'll go to the stream and click notify me. But I can notify you through Discord, so join the Discord. The link is in the stream description on YouTube, or you can do exclamation mark Discord by typing it on the chat. So yeah, we're going to start like 30 minutes before the actual live stream, before it starts. And while we're waiting, we're going to make a bingo card for our predictions. So yeah, it will feature Ichiban Kasuga, yeah. Agnes Tachyon, yes. The Aru plushie, yes. Partitia from Wuthering Waves, and Jack 8 from Tekken 8. Damn, a lot of guests for for Saturday. I'm fucking with you. But I think it's just really funny to have uh really unrelated characters as thumbnails. But anyways, I'll see you guys on Saturday for the watch party for Hello Summer special program. And yeah, I hope you guys will drop by. And that'll be it for today. And I'll see you guys till then. Have a good night. And probably if I'm going to edit the video, this video, I'm going to release it just after the maintenance starts for Blue Archive Global. And I'm seeing like new people here, I assume. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Follow Twitch as well. And yeah, I make Art Nights and Blue Archive videos, and I stream occasionally every week. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Hello Summer. Is it going to be Summer Millennium, Summer Haikiyako, or Summer Sanhaijing? We will see on Saturday. Have a good night. Bye bye. And join Discord as well. Summer tea party. All right, got it.